What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to get your City of Toronto food truck permit and licenses. This is going to be specifically a deep dive on the things you need to get the permit and license, not on how to get the things that you need to get your permit and license. If you need that stuff, that will all be in my other videos. There's a full video that I dropped that explains how to start a food truck business from start to finish. So that one will kind of give you an overview of everything. This video is specifically on how to get your food truck license and permit in the City of Toronto, all the application requirements, all the prices, all the fees, all the orders of things you're gonna need. This will be the complete video with all the little steps. There's also a downloadable checklist that will be in the link below. You just give me your email and I will forward this to you. It literally says everything you need to bring with you when you go to apply for your permit and license, because if you forget one thing or if one thing is not right, they are not going to accept it. And then you wasted your day, you wasted your time. There's usually lineups, so you're gonna have to wait in line again. It's one location in Scarborough, so depending on where you live in the city, you might have to drive a good amount to get there and back. So I'm here to help you avoid all the headaches and heartaches. This is a checklist built for you with everything you need. I will also be using it to go through this video so you can download it and follow along, and just to make your life a little bit easier to get your Toronto food truck permit and license. So without no further ado, let's get into it. The first thing that you're gonna need is proof of identity and work status. So you're gonna need 2 pieces of valid government ID. You're just gonna have to bring 2 pieces of ID with you to the Civic Center. That is part of your application. So have a folder ready right now, or like a binder or something, and just put 2 pieces of ID in them. I have a list of all the approved pieces of ID in here. So we got Canadian passport, driver's license, birth certificate, citizenship card, permanent resident card, social insurance number card, or a valid work permit. They do not accept health cards, so make sure that is not one of your IDs. So it's again on the paper right here, so you have it to refer to it. They do not accept health cards, so don't bring that. And then the names obviously must match on all of the IDs. So your passport and your driver's license should both have the same exact name. If there's an extra middle name in one of your names and that's not part of what it says on your driver's license, but it says it on your passport, try to find something that says the exact same name on both ends. I have a middle name, it says it on one ID, it doesn't say it on the other, and they gave me the whole runaround because it said 2 different names and they wanted to make sure that it was the same person. You know how extra they are. So to avoid the headache and the heartache, just do yourself a solid. Make sure whatever 2 pieces of ID, it says the exact same name on both of them. And I talked about this in my full video on how to start a food truck business, but if you apply as a sole proprietor, so in business you got 2, you can apply as a corporation or you can apply as a sole proprietor. Sole proprietor is me, myself, Ali. I am going to apply and start this business. It's all on me, it's all under my name, and all my assets are available to the world. If you apply as a corporation, now think of it as like a company, an organization that there's could be multiple people on it. There could be 1 person, there could be 10 people, and that company is what's starting the business. I always recommend going with a corporation because it's easier, it's smarter, it's better, it just makes the most sense for everyone and most times everything. So if you're gonna decide to still apply as a sole proprietor though, you're going to need to provide ID that proves legal work status, because it is your name, it is you as a person, solo dolo, starting this business. That means if you have to apply for bankruptcy, they have access, they can take your assets like your car, your house, they can access your bank accounts to get money from it, all that good stuff. But if you apply as a corporation, you're kind of secure in a way where it's the corporation is what's taken on the risk and the forefront of everything. So if the corporation applies for bankruptcy, it's not you, it's your corporation. They can't really go for your house, they can't go for your family, they can't go for your assets because it's separate from you. You get what I'm saying? It's a separate entity. Sole proprietor is your name. Yourself is the business. Corporation is like a separate business that you kind of work for. You're just a part of that takes on the business activities. So yeah, if you're a sole proprietor, then they ask for proof of work status. If you're applying as a corporation, then you don't have to worry about that. So that is what we need. Off the top, I gave you a quick rundown, but first thing, 2 pieces of ID that match. If you're applying as a sole proprietor, then you need to provide proof of work status in Canada, obviously. The next thing you need is a criminal background check. Now, this, if you haven't gotten this, I suggest you do this ASAP, because this takes the police people I think over a month to do it. You get what I'm saying? So if you're on a time crunch or if you want to get on this ASAP, apply for it right now. Go on the Toronto Police website and then apply for a criminal record and judicial matters check. So I think there's 3 different levels to the police check. One's like a generic regular one. The second one is the criminal record and judicial matters check. And then there's a third one. I forget what it is. you need the second level, the criminal record and judicial matters check for this for this permit and license. It is a requirement. You have to apply for it and you have to get it. So make sure you get on that. Now, if you're starting a corporation and there's multiple people in that corporation, then you need one of those for every single person. So off rip, I recommend just starting a corporation if you haven't already, and it just be you. Even if you're gonna have your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, your business partner on it, it doesn't matter. Just for the sake of getting this through, for now, it's easier if it's just one person. So just have you on the board of directors. When you come to apply for a corporation, they're gonna ask if you wanna add anyone on the board of directors. That kind of means it gives them right to the company, like they are part of the board of directors. But for now, just put your name, so that way everything that you need is only on you. You don't have to worry about getting something else for another person right now. So make sure you're getting the criminal record and judicial matters check for yourself, and each officer or director in the corporation if you have more. The Toronto police people will send you an email with like this paper that says it says like you're cleared or you don't have any criminal record background or whatever, and then you just print that, you download it, you print it, and you add that to your binder of things you need to bring with you. So right now we have our 2 pieces of ID and the criminal record and judicial matters check paper in that binder. All right, so now the next thing you're going to need is, if you're applying as a sole proprietor, you're gonna need a copy of a provincial business name registration or a signed franchise agreement. Now, what this means is when you're coming to start a business, you need to come up with a business name for it, and you have to register that name so that when people search it or in the records of taxes and the government and all that stuff, it shows this is the business name, it's owned by this person, and it's running whatever it is. But as a sole proprietor, you need a copy of a provincial business name registration, so you'd have to register your business name. So you just go online, type in register a business name, it'll give you a bunch of links, just click the cheapest one, type in your name, they're gonna make sure it's available, and then they're gonna email you an official like certificate that says that that is your name, that is like your copyrighted name or whatever. So you're gonna need a copy of that. But if you're going to franchise a business, or if you're gonna be using, say, a buddy started a business and it's working and you wanna do the same thing and obviously they're telling you to and you have their permission, you guys can both sign this franchise agreement that states you're going to be using that person's name. So obviously, say for example McDonald's, there's tons of McDonald's all around the city, and they all operate under McDonald's, but they're owned by different people. So in the books on their end, it'll say for example, something hospitality, operating as McDonald's. Or it'll say something table, love, food, this, operating as McDonald's. So it's the corporation or the company that owns the business, but it's operating as McDonald's, which is the franchise name. So those are the 2 options. So for me, the first time I did it, my corporation is called Shack Hospitality Inc. So that is my corporation name. And then for my, say for example, my ice cream truck, it's called Shaft Shakes. So I had to register the name Shaft Shakes and then get that certificate and provide that to the permit people so they know that I'm operating as Shaft Shakes and I have their legal rights to that name and I'm operating under that name. But now, for example, I bought a truck for my mom and she's going to be running her own business. Well, it's my business, but I'm kind of franchising it to her. She's not going to name it a different name though. It's going to be also called Shaft Shakes. So me and her, we downloaded the signed franchise agreement paper, which is linked over here. If you have the PDF, you just click the link and download that form. And I signed it, she signed it, so now she can go to the ministry and say, hey, I am going to be operating my business under Shaft Shakes, here's my franchise agreement name. And then you take it from there. So yeah, that's kind of a quick thing for the documents there. If you're applying as a sole proprietor. If you're applying as a corporation, it's kind of similar, but when you apply for a corporation and when you initially make your corporation, they will email you your articles of incorporation, which is kind of like this package that says like this is your legal corporation name that's now been filed with the government and in the Ontario or whatever. It'll give you your corporation name, it'll give you the details, the address, your name, owners, directors, all that good stuff. So if you're applying as a corporation now, you're gonna need to have that document, the articles of incorporation. They will send it to you as soon as you file your first corporation, or as soon as you sign up and make your first corporation, they will email it to you. So put that in your binder of things you need to bring. If directors or officers have changed, submit a current corporate profile report. Don't worry about that. If you made a corporation and like, say there was 3 people on the board of directors and then you kicked out 2 people, there's going to need to be a form that's filled out that states that. But if you just made your corporation right now and it's just you on there, you have nothing to worry about. You're going to need an annual return for corporation form signed by an officer or director, which lists all the current officers and directors. So again, once you download this PDF, the link to that form is right here. You just click the link, it'll take you to the form, you download it, and you fill it out. That form, all it is, it's a few boxes. You're just gonna write your name, your position, so you're just gonna write director/CEO, and that's kind of it, I believe. Obviously it says list all current officers or directors, but like I said, because it's just you and you're the only person in this corporation, you're just gonna put your name, director, I think it asks for like an address or something, and that's literally it. There's not much to it. And then to add on to that, 2 pieces of ID for each officer director and a criminal record check for each officer or director. If you're applying as a corporation with multiple people on the board of directors, like I mentioned, then you're going to need this information for each person, but keep it simple. It's just you right now, so you just need the criminal record. So now you just need the criminal record check for yourself. You need the 2 pieces of ID for yourself. You need the articles of incorporation and a business name registration or signed franchise agreement. So I didn't mention this, but if you're applying as a corporation, you automatically need to bring the copy of articles of incorporation, and you need one of the first things I talked about, which is either a copy of a provincial business name or a signed franchise agreement. So if you're a sole proprietor, you don't need articles of incorporation, but you need one of those 2 things. If you're a corporation, then you need the articles of incorporation and one of those 2 things. So again, if your corporation, like me, is Shaft Shack Hospitality Inc., you're gonna need to register a business name to operate as. So I registered Shaft Shakes, and now the corporation is Shaft Shack Hospitality Inc., operating as Shaft Shakes, which is the business name that people see on the truck when they see it. And then, what else? Or a signed franchise agreement. If you're going to be doing a franchise, which probably won't be, but just in case you are, you want to franchise it to a friend or to your parents or something, then you would need that form signed to give them kind of the rights to use your name on their business as well, because they're franchising it from you. And yeah, so that's kind of it. So right now, so far, we have what we need in your binder: 2 pieces of ID, your criminal record and judicial matters check, copy of articles of incorporation, and a business name registration or a signed franchise agreement. And that's what we have so far. Oh, and the annual return form for corporation form, which is, again, is this link right over here. You click it, you download it, you fill it out, you print it, and you add that to your binder. Good? Good. All right. And again, you can download this free checklist that has all this information and all the links to the forms you will need, linked down in the description below. Just type in your email when you click the link, and I will forward you this PDF for you to download and keep for your records. Trust me, this is like a cheat sheet for your cheat of ultimate cheats. This is the ultimate cheat code to getting your City of Toronto permit and license for your food truck. I promise you, I would pay any time, like any sort of money for this, because online it throws you all over the place. In person, they're mean, they don't want to help you. Other food truck owners, they're kind of stingy and they don't want to help you, or maybe you don't know any. So trust me, this is like valued at, I think, like maybe like $200, if not more. So you're welcome. Just press that subscribe button and like and comment or something. I don't know. Maybe if you start your food truck, then just bless me some food when I come to see you. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, back to what we were talking about. So the next thing that now we have to deal with is the vehicle and health inspection documents. So the last documents we just did was the business documents. The documents before that was our proof of identity and work status and our criminal background check. So now we are going into the vehicle and health inspection documents. What we need is original provincial vehicle registration. So if you're starting a food truck and you just bought a food truck, you're going to get that green ownership paper. You're gonna need that. Bring the original one and make a photocopy of it anyways, so that way if they want to keep one, then you just give them the photocopy, or they'll take the original, photocopy it, and give it back to you. Regardless, just make sure you have that green ownership with you. Do not forget it. Do not bring a picture of it. Oh, that's another thing. They do not accept photos or soft copies of any of this. So make sure you're printing every single thing that you need to bring with you, so that they don't give you a problem when you get to the desk over there. So yeah, the first thing you need is the, again, original provincial vehicle registration, which is the green paper. And guys, when you register this green paper at Service Ontario, you want to make sure you put it in your business's name. I cannot stress this enough. Which is kind of crazy, because actually the first year I did it in person, the vehicle did not have to be my business's name. The clerk at the desk didn't say anything about it. The following year, which is the most recent one that I just did, they made it, I don't know if that person was just wanted to be annoying or whatever, but they wanted it to be in the business's name. Regardless, it's like the slightest extra fee to put it into your business name, and it's not even the worst idea to put it in your business name. It kind of just makes sense. So just do yourself a favor and get that out of the way. You're going to need a Toronto Public Health Inspection. So you're going to need proof of the health inspection. So when you go do your health inspection, the inspector is going to give you that green pass, you know, the Dine Safe pass paper that you're going to stick on your truck. And they're also going to email you a letter of no objection, which is going to be like this letter that says, I, the health inspector, whatever, have no objection to passing this truck, and with the name, truck, and all the information of the inspector and all that other stuff that you don't need to worry about. As long as you get that paper, you just need that. So you print that paper. Again, when you go do your health inspection, they're going to give you two documents. The green Dine Safe Check Health paper that you stick, that you see on like restaurant windows and doors and stuff like that. And they will email you a letter of no objection. You need that letter of no objection. You don't need the green thing. They won't accept the green thing. You need to print off and bring the letter of no objection. And then the other thing you're going to need is a valid safety standard certificate. So in Toronto and Ontario, when you buy a car, for you to transfer ownership or put it in your name, you need to make sure it passes safety. So you have to take it to a mechanic, say, hey, I need to get a safety for this vehicle. Depending on the truck, it's going to be like $300 to $400. They take it, they do whatever it is they need to do, and they give you the safety certificate. You need to bring that safety certificate with you to the desk at the Civic Center on Coxwell when you go to apply for your permit in person, or you upload that certificate online if you're doing it online. But you have to make sure that it's less than 36 days old. So here's the thing, you want to make sure you're planning all of this stuff perfectly, so that way you won't run out of days, because you're gonna have to pay every time you need that safety, right? So if you're paying for the safety now, you only have 36 days to bang everything out. So if you think you can't make it, I would suggest don't get the safety yet. Bang everything else out first. Get your criminal record check. Get your articles of incorporation ready. Get everything else ready. Then go get your safety. So that way, once you get your safety, you can go straight to the Civic Center and apply for it. That way, you know that the 36 days time won't run out. You won't be waiting on something and you missed the deadline for it. You know what I'm saying? But here's a little tip. I talk about all of this in more depth in my full video on how to start a food truck business, but you cannot transfer. So for the first point, original vehicle registration, you cannot transfer the vehicle into your name without the safety certificate. So if you're gonna be extra smart with it, you're not gonna transfer it into your name or into your business's name until you have everything else ready. So that way, once you have everything else ready, you go straight to get your safety. Once you get your safety, you go straight to getting you go straight to getting it transferred into your name, into your business's name, because they're gonna ask for that safety again. So you use that to transfer it into your business's name, and then you take that, both of those documents, and you go straight to the Civic Center, because the Civic Center is gonna ask for the ownership in the business's name, and the Civic Center is gonna ask for the safety standard certificate, which you just used both to get that last part done. So now you take that and you go to the Civic Center and you should be good to go. I know it's annoying, I know it's a headache, but I went through this and I know how whack it is. But I went through it. So for someone who hasn't gone yet, I'm trying to make this a little bit easier, a little bit better for you, so that way you don't have to go through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. But regardless, that will be it for those three specific things. Vehicle registration in the business's name, safety standards from a mechanic, and a health inspection. There is also a number here, 311, or the phone number for you to schedule a health inspection if you haven't had one yet. But guys, I'm not saying what it is you need to pass the health inspection. Right now we're talking about what it is you need to get your permit and license. And to get your permit and license, you need a health inspection. If you want to know what it is you need to pass the health inspection, it's in my full video on how to start a food truck business, and I'll have a separate video as well on how to make sure you pass your health inspection. But for right now, this is just about how to get your permit and licenses. So to get your permit and license, you need your health inspection. If you haven't signed up or booked an appointment yet, the numbers are here to book your appointment to get your health inspection, okay? Cool. The next thing you're going to need is, real quick, so in that binder that we have, you're gonna wanna add your original provincial vehicle registration, which is that green ownership. You're gonna wanna add your health inspection, which is the letter of no objection, and and you're going to need to add your valid safety standard certificate in that binder. A few extra forms and a few extra files you need to add, make sure you add them. Now, the next few things that you're going to need are documents that need to be filled out. These documents are made by the city, so I'm not coming up with these, I'm not making them up, they're all online, you will find them, but I just wanted to make your life a little bit easier and make it a little bit more organized so you're not running and looking all over the place. Once you download this PDF, all of the links are here to take you directly to those forms that you need. So for the first one, you need a list of products/food items sold. The link is right under it. You just click the link, it'll take you to this form. You download it and you fill it out. It's pretty simple. I should have printed it so I can kind of show you guys and go through it, but I swear it's super self-explanatory. It just says, from my memory, it just says you're gonna write your business name. I'm telling the city I will be selling these items, and then there's just gonna be a bunch of lines and you're gonna put everything you're gonna sell. So if it's burgers, hot dogs, fries, water bottles, ice cream, cheesecakes, whatever, you're gonna list them out there. It's gonna ask for a date and a signature, and that is it. You print that off, you add that to your binder of things you need to print. That is the first thing. The next thing you're going to need is a photo of applicant. So if you're going to be, since it's you just need a passport picture of yourself. They use this because they put it on file, so that way when bylaw comes later down the line and you're on the street and they search your number, your profile will come up with your name. Which is weird because they take your IDs and your IDs have photos. It should all be connected and it should have it, but they just want to be difficult. So anyways, just get a passport photo of yourself, or just literally stand with a white background and have someone take a picture of you and then send that in, or print that off and have it ready. So that will be the photo of applicant. And now the next thing you're going to need is a certificate of insurance. So again, the link is right here. It's this very specific insurance form that your insurance company needs to fill out. So you're gonna download that form, send it to your insurance company, say, hey, I'm applying for my refreshment vehicle permit. They're requiring that you sign this. They shouldn't charge you for it. It's part of what you're paying for. They'll just fill it out, email it back to you. They'll fill it out, stamp it, sign it, all that stuff. They'll email it back to you, and then you print that off and you hand that in when you go. That's obviously to show proof that you have insurance for your business. The next thing you're going to need is a motorized refreshment vehicle owner operating information questionnaire. That is a very long title, but that's what it's called. Again, the link is here. You just click it, you download it. I don't exactly remember what this one was. It's pretty simple. I think it was just questions like, are you using gas or are you electrical? Do you have a soft serve machine? Like basic stuff. You just click, check it off or X it off, sign it, put your name, print it, and then add that to your binder. And then the last form you need is a motorized refreshment vehicle owner supporting documents checklist. Again, it's just some random questions that you just have to say yes or no to, sign it, put the date, print it, and have it done. The way they run this is just so old school and it makes no sense and it's so outdated and it's so back and forth, but it's part of the game. So that's why if you watched my full video on how to start a food truck business, I explained that the permit and license is a headache. Everything about this truck game is a headache, but once you get through it, it is doable and worth it, I guess, depending on how you do it. But that is it. So it's a total of, let me count exactly how many documents you should have, if I'm not mistaken. Or we could just go through it together. So first thing from the top again, you need 2 pieces of ID with the same name on them. Then you need a criminal record and judicial matters check. It has to be done within the last 280 days. But obviously if you just applied for it and you got it, you're good to go. What else? You will need a copy of articles of incorporation, which is what you get as soon as you incorporate your business. You're going to need a provincial business name registration or a signed franchise agreement, one of those depending on what business name you're going to be using. You're going to need an annual return for corporation form, which again is that form that just says your name, the director's position, so you write director/CEO, and the date. The link is again down under it. And then what else? You're going to need the vehicle ownership, so the green truck ownership with the business name owning on it. You're going to need a health inspection proof, which is the letter of no objection. You're going to need a valid safety certificate, which you go to the mechanic and get, but it has to be less than 36 days old. You're going to need a list of food products/food items sold, which again the link is here. You're going to need a photo of yourself, which is just like a passport photo. You're going to need a certificate of insurance, which again the link is here. You just send it to your insurance, have them sign it, get it back, download it, and print it. You're going to need a motorized refreshment vehicle owner operating information questionnaire, which again is linked here, and a motorized refreshment vehicle owner supporting documents checklist, which is also linked here. So there's an application fee of $275.46 inclusive of HST, and then there's a license fee of $1,132.37 inclusive of HST. Both of these are due when you are applying and you're handing all these documents in. The total fee is $1,407.83. So make sure I don't think they take cash. I mean, I know they don't take cash. So make sure you're bringing some credit cards with high limits so you're able to pay for that off the top. Now that is just the application fee and the license fee. Now for your permit, that is a whole other thing. But like it's not extra additional documents, but you just have to tell them, I guess, which permit you want to apply for. There's a 6-month permit, which is $3,746.71. There's a 9-month permit, which is $5,620.08. And there's a 1-year permit, which is $7,493.41. All of those are inclusive of HST. So if you're ready to do that on the spot, obviously, again, be prepared to bring a card with high limits so that you're able to cover these fees. So walk-in services are available. Office hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 12:30, and then 1:30 to 4. The office is closed from 12:30 to 1:30 daily. All right, and there's still one last part to it. I know, bear with me. This one is not on this form, so this is a very important one that I'm hoping you've stuck around and you're watching to this point so that you have this knowledge. This is now called the refreshment vehicle driver. So everything that we just did and we got is to get your refreshment vehicle license and permit. But now any driver you're going to have, which will most likely be you at first until you hire someone, this is going to be a separate and extra step that's needed to continue going on with this. So the things you're going to need for this are a valid G-Class photo driver's license, which is one of the requirements that you already needed to get your permit and license, so you should have it with you. Piece of government issued identification, so again, the 2 pieces of ID that we're bringing for the permit and license already covers that. You're going to need the criminal record and judicial matters check, which you already have for the first part. And you're going to need a photo of the applicant, which you already have from the first part. And the last thing you're going to need that I have not discussed or talked about yet, or is not on this form, is a copy of the applicant's driving record abstract, a 3-year driving history recorded by the Ministry of Transportation. The abstract must be less than 30 days old from date of issue. So now what this is you just go on the Ministry of Transportation, you're going to type in your driver's license number, your profile will come up or whatever, you're going to have to pay, I don't remember how much I paid, I think it was like $25. I think it was like less than $30 for sure, but it like emails you your driving record abstract for the last 3 years. And you're going to need this to be what they call a food truck driver. So you're going to pay that $30, whatever. They're going to email you the driving abstract. You're going to print that out and you're going to bring it with you to the center. Because once you complete all the license and permit stuff, now you're going to be operating the truck. You're going to need that information. Now, in the future and whatever, if you're going to hire an employee that is going to be capable to drive the truck, operate the truck, and serve out the truck where you're just completely hands off, you're going to need these things for that driver. So that driver is going to need the criminal record and judicial matters check. That driver is going to need the applicant's driving record of the last 3 years. And that driver is going to need a photo of them. And then that way you take that stuff and you go back to the center and you say, hey, this person is applying for a refreshment vehicle driver, and they give them that information and then they use that to get the refreshment vehicle driver part. Again, this is separate from the license and permits. These are 2 completely different things. The first thing is the license permit. This thing is for you to operate the truck. They just want as much money as they can get out of you, and we have no say. This is so old, close-minded. It puts business owners at like a lower, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just overall not cool. Like, this is what we get for wanting to run a business and start a business. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So yeah, that is a separate part that is not on this form. So I really hope you stuck around to the end so that way you got that last piece. Because if you didn't, I can't give you all the free sauce for free. You know what I'm saying? You're going to end up going, you're not going to be able to apply for this. You're going to have to get that and go back. But don't say I didn't tell you, because I told you. And now the fee for this, because obviously everything has an associated fee, The application fee for this is $157.89, and the license fee is $316.63. So a total of $474.52. So it's this plus the $1,400 I said from the first part, plus the permit, depending on how many months you want to operate for, is what you're gonna need. And yeah, it's a lot. It's hefty. It gets deep. But like I said, if you do it right, then you should be good to go. It is a big cost up front though, so I hope you guys watched my full video on how to start a food truck business, so that way you can see the whole path you have to go down, how much everything is gonna cost you, and where you gotta end up to get to be able to just serve on the side of the street and be good to go. But yeah, that'll be it. I know this video might have been very, very information packed, but guys, trust me, it was hell for me to go through, and I kind of just want to help people that are in my situation go through it too a little bit easier, you know what I'm saying? So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you drop them down below. I answer everyone. I will help to the best of my abilities. My contact information is also at the bottom of this free downloadable checklist, link down below in the bio. And I will also have a one-on-one call that you can book with me, a calendar link down below in the bio, where we can sit down and we can discuss your specific situation. If you want to start a food truck, if you need advice, if you need consulting services, if you need help, we will sit down together, just me and you, and we will figure out how to make money for you and your business. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. And I hope this goes smoothly for you guys. But trust me, just make sure you're like very just make sure you're very on top of it. Last thing I want for you is to drive all the way to the Civic Center, because that's the only place you can do it in Scarborough, in Toronto. So maybe wherever you are, I don't know, hopefully you're close to there. But if you're not, it's the only place you can do it. It's a long drive. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's long waits. The people at the desk are going to be kind of rude, because what city, I don't know, center people sitting at desks aren't rude. They're going to give you attitude. So don't take it personal, but just make sure you have everything you can. Double check, triple check, quadruple check, all the information, all the numbers. Guys, something as little as on my insurance slip, obviously I told you guys my corporation name is Shack Hospitality Inc. The other person put Shack Hospitality, no Inc. And the lady's like, I can't accept this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I'm missing Inc. And it wasn't even me, it was the insurance provider, but everything else is good. She's like, yeah, no, I can't do it. I was like, all right, so I had to go home, contact my insurance company, make them rewrite it, make them resend it, and then go back to the Civic Center, wait back in line to apply for it again. But anyways, we live and we learn, right? It is what it is. But like I said, just quadruple check, make sure you're on top of everything. If you have any questions, just ask me before you go. If I don't know the answer to something for whatever reason, I now have connects with tons of different food truck owners for different businesses. I will find the answer for you and let you know. I promise you that'll be my mission. I'm here to help, we're here to build, and we're here to grow. And I will see you guys on the road. Take care.